What's kept you going? We're coming up, almost 30 years. You said 1990 was the start. Um, what's Because I'm sure that even with all of your success, that it's publishing. I'm sure there've been some ups and some downs and some hard times somewhere in there. Or did you manage to get through a 30-year career and then there weren't?
Oh yeah, no problem. Well, I think the biggest change in the 30 years that I've been writing is probably all the self-published books. Because of course there wasn't such a thing really when I first started writing. Maybe some vanity presses, but nothing like on the scale that we see now with books online. And so that I think that's a big difference that I've seen in the 30 years I've been publishing. I have some of my books that have gone out of print because it happens. I have put up as ebooks, and a book about writing that my friend Marcia and I wrote for Writer's Digest, which was originally called Story Sparkers. We rewrote the entire book and we put it up on Amazon, and it's now called Writing for Kids: The Ultimate Guide. And that book is everything that I know about writing. And everything that Marcia knows about writing put together. Writing for Kids: The Ultimate Guide. And actually, it's kind of a good thing to write about writing or to talk about writing. I'm getting ready to go to the Tennessee Writers, what's it called? Tennessee Writers Workshop, I believe, in Nashville coming up. It's on my website. But it forces me, when I prepare a talk about a certain subject, it forces me to think, now, am I really doing that? I need to do that more. Or I haven't done that in a long time. I should do that. That really help. That would really make my story better. So I think talking about writing can be a good thing, but sometimes you can talk too much and you have to actually stop talking and do the writing. Get your rear in the chair and do the writing, because you have to do the work to get the story published. And I guess I am one good thing that has helped me is that I am kind of a goal oriented. If I say I want to get 3 pages a day, I'm going to get 3 pages a day. And I try to make goals for myself, like finish the book by such and such date, or a list of things that I want to do, because I love checking stuff off a list. That's the best thing ever. So I think that helps me get organized with my writing too. That, okay, well, I'm gonna make a summer reading brochure for the narwhal problem, and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and I'll check that off, and that keeps me going in my writing career. And it's so easy to flounder, I guess, when you don't have some kind of goals. And so a talk I'm going to do at that Tennessee Writers Workshop on August the 3rd is about the business of writing. And one of the things I'm going to touch on is to have goals, and trying to keep those goals in mind and focus on them, to work toward those goals, so that you have kind of a plan for your writing career.
What do you set rewards for yourself when you hit your goals, or is it just that satisfaction of checking off the item on the list?
It's the satisfaction, but I think those rewards sound really good. Do that.
And then what's a good way to set a goal? What's a good, reasonable goal? Because I'll talk with people in my writing workshop and try and get them to set goals. And sometimes they'll just, the first session I have them all write a goal down. They'll just copy down what I wrote from the syllabus as I think is a reasonable goal. Okay, but that's my goal for you. What do you want to do? So how does a writer set a reasonable goal and hold themselves accountable?
Well, I know some people say, "Oh, I'm going to have a book published by a traditional publisher," and you don't have any control over that. I mean, you can write the best book you can, and maybe it doesn't get published, because I've done that quite a few times. I've got a file full. But you do have control over a goal that says, I'm going to write 3 pages a day. You do have a goal over something that says, I'm going to finish this book, I'm going to edit it, I'm going to revise it, and I'm going to send it out to a publisher by January the 1st, which is not particularly a good time to submit a book, by the way. But you have to make the goals things that you can actually do, because there's a lot of things we have no control over as writers, but doing the work, we do have control.
So that, now that you're publishing, you mentioned your writing guide plus some of the previous titles that are out of print, and you're kind of hybrid, being a hybrid author and self-publishing some of those to have them available. Does that become a bit of a temptation, that knowing that that's available as a viable option for you, that nobody can ever tell you no again?
Well, I know how hard it is to sell a book on, through self-publishing. And I like to have the support of the traditional publisher, because it's hard enough to sell books with a traditional publisher. I think not self-publishing. I admire anybody who can self-publish and sell books, because I think that's really hard. Because I try to do a lot of book signings and book events as much as I can, and yet Simon & Schuster also promotes my books for me. So not having that umbrella of somebody else helping me out, I think it's difficult to make a living as being a writer without having that support. So no, I'm not tempted to try writing. Maybe I will someday, but those books, I just actually most of the ones I have are with a Kindle program through an agent who does ebooks. And it started out with a thing with Seymour Simon, his wife, Liz. They did a company where they took out of print books and put them online. And so she did all the work for me for most of those books. So that was great. So it's kind of, they are, self-published, I guess you could say, but they're through that avenue of where they digitize books, and they sold them to schools in groups. So that and that company was bought out. So they're on to new adventures, but they're still kind of in a program that helps them get seen more, because there's so many books. When with self-publishing, there's so many more, it's hard for people to find your book. And so that's great that you have podcasts like this to help people find books.
Oh, I'm happy when that happens. Really, I'm just thrilled to learn about writing directly from you. Where else can I get this? Right here from my home. This is great.
Well, thank you for having me.